amazing weekend, great food. Thank you for hosting this great space, for sure. Second thing, thank you for some of the mentors who came over to really help us out with some of the advice and some of the tips that really got us started. I don't have a lot of slides because I like to demo things right up. I mean, we built a lot, so we might as well go right into it. What we wanted to tackle was more of a problem on our end. Like, Eugene and I were talking on the way over here, and we found sometimes consumer preferences, the fancy way of saying what I like, is hard to get. And what I really want to do is just be able to ask, where can I get this, and then be able to go get it. I'm a dental student, so most of the times my healthcare profession, I see problems like this, and that's why I do code, because I love solving little challenges. And so when Eugene and I talked about this, we wanted to build literally a consumer interface to solve this problem. But then we realized lots of apps are doing this. There's plenty of interfaces going on. What isn't happening, I can see, and we can see, is that the backside of the data that you collect from that, how is that being effectively used? So we really want to bring all of these components together, and that's why it took a long time, which is all of last night. And we kind of want to show you what we got. So we built this dashboard. And if you can look on the right side, we scraped all of this data right off delivery.com. I wrote a scraper last night that just went ahead and just ripped as much data as it could. And each of the brewers and the brands here actually have their own products. And the idea here really is to collect data from different interfaces, being apps in consumers' hands, being technologies that exist out there, and really bring it to one centralized area where you can take a look and understand what this data really means. So Corona Extra being one of the things, I want to hand it over to Brendan over here to talk about one of the interfaces he built on top of delivery.com. That's really fascinating.
Okay, just to add, kind of as Sage mentioned, we basically talked to the judges and the mentors, and what we learned is it was very hard for large manufacturers and distributors to have localized data to produce actionable insights, right? So for merchants, for users, it's a very hard problem, even though they're kind of manufacturing a large amount of beer. So what we wanted to focus on was how can we absorb data from many different myriad data sources to basically empower these things and then overlay different data sets, such as like weather and sports on top of that. There are various front ends. One of them that we've built is a Chrome extension on top of delivery.com. I would like to demo that for you and explain kind of what's happening. So basically it's a pairing API. So this is delivery.com. This is one restaurant. You can see basically if you click on a given item, typically you have the name, the information. The pairing recommendations are basically what the extension is adding. So what it's doing is scraping the entree title, chicken shawarma, and the marinated the description. It's sending that through an API. It's kind of returning general, I'll call this varietals for beer and wine that mechanically should be paired kind of with the meal. What happens, so you can see that there's different things kind of for different meals, right? You'll see that, here. Basically, you can then kind of find what's near me. So if you click near me, what it's doing is using delivery.com's API on the back end to actually find, after it's scraped your address, beers that roughly match kind of the API recommendation here. So you'll see, okay, maybe I'm interested in getting, Corona because it's a very good match. There are multiple places where the Corona Extra is sold, so I'll click on it. It will kind of add to my cart. You'll see that kind of happen in the background. Maybe I want both. And I'm doing this for demo purposes because every time I add something, I'm capturing intent data, sending it to kind of the platform you saw real time, so you should be able to see that on the dashboard. Right? So you see here, it's kind of added to your cart. Then we kind of go back, and I'll give it to Sage.
Yeah, and if you look right down here, Brendan actually just made the thing. So the next thing we want to demo is just the Amazon Echo, I guess. With that, and we had fun with it. Let's just do it. Why not? Although I promise you, this is going to be terrible. But let's see. All right. I think it's ready. Hope. Alexa, stop whatever you're doing. It is spinning in circles.
Alexa.
Well, the idea is once it gets up and running, all of this is being pumped right back into this.
10 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Alexa. Overlay data, okay. Well, there's temperature data overlaid on top of this. There's also sports lit on top of it, so you can actually look at prediction analysis. We use Watson to do the prediction analysis. You can go to different products right here. And we don't want to bore you any further, but the idea is that you can get real-time data, look at macro and micro events and social events that are happening around the city to gauge how people want to consume things. And ideally, as a supplier, provide inventory that's right for it. Alexa.
Sorry guys, we're past 5 minutes.
Parody, purchase, curl length.
Thank you.
Enjoy finest sales in lockers.
So how did you guys do the pairing?
Yeah, so essentially it's an open API called Pair. It's something I actually wrote a year ago. It's a semi-supervised learning algorithm. So really simply, imagine it's parsing the words. So you're sending a description title. Most large data sets of structured food data, right? You got a title and description, like you said, this menu, sending that there. Imagine it's like chicken shawarma, right? 2 words, chicken and shawarma. It's basically looking for probabilities that that should pair with different things. So we actually have databases. The beer is actually not as good as wine, but you imagine you scrape like a few thousand basically kind of sommeliers, brewmasters who have parents. The short answer is there's no objective correct answer, and I recognize that like a mechanical way is not necessarily the best. So something I started to implement was actually Untapped for rating. So you imagine that okay, a lager might be a good type of beer to rate. So then when I want to find something near me, basically rank order that based on kind of the Untapped rating, but that's not Untapped is a better solution. It's not fully implemented, but that's basically how it works.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.